Something about a AI Portland wedding.
I mean, I can't wait for the first AI Portland wedding. That is
Me
true.
too. Me too.
That but I will say this on the record. If there is an AI Portland wedding, Nicole and I must officiate.
Yes. I was just going to say you have to invite us, but I guess that's not enough.
It's not enough.
We will need to be the officiants of your wedding.
Yes, 100%.
If you meet your significant other through AI Portland and you get married, just know that that is a requirement.
I mean, it's the right way to say it is like, if you meet your significant other at AI Portland, just
your
know
soulmate, not just Siggo.
Yeah.
Your
you
soulmate.
Already have officiants for your wedding. Like, it's just part of it.
It's a benefit.
It's a benefit of membership.
We should put that on our meetup page.
Oh my gosh, dreams can come true. Welcome to Supercharged by AI, a podcast by AI Portland. I'm Megan Otarte, partner at Cloud4 and co-founder of AI Portland. As always, joined by co-conspirator, friend, and wedding officiant, Nicole Morse.
Thank you.
Product design manager at Lithia Motors and the brains and hearts behind AI Portland with me. What a week we have had.
Yeah, so it was startup week here in Portland. If you're in town, it was a very jam-packed, eventful week full of programming centered around our startup community here in town, and it was awesome.
Wow. Yeah, like folks came out. It's so. I can tell you that there's just a energy in town that there hasn't been in, at least that I have experienced in the last like 5 years or so. So it you could feel it. There's an energy. People came out. There was like over 50 events. I feel like there was 60 something.
I was just looking at the stats that Josh posted online. There were many. I lost it, but there were many.
And of all of those events, we had two. Two events. One was our regular AI Portland Thursday night event. And then we also had a 0 to 1 build challenge, hackathon, you might call it, that we did with Josh from Upstart Collective. And thank God. We just say thank God for Josh.
Josh was amazing. Josh is amazing.
Because we did not know what we were doing or what we were getting into.
Yeah, it's funny because I had done Startup Weekend in the past, like 10 years ago. So I was familiar with the format, but this was your first time doing something like this.
Yeah, I did not know at all how. I mean, I like know what it is, but it just seems like, how the heck does this whole thing come together? And like people really show up and they really just like dedicate a full day. I think it ended up being like 28 to 30 hours that they had between the time they formed teams and the time they did their demos. Like, I just didn't know how it all happened, and it does happen and it is magical.
It is a magical thing to go through. First of all, it's amazing how many ideas people have in town. It was 16 ideas that people came together and ultimately pitched. That's a lot of just brain power thinking about what they could birth into the universe, you know? And that's exciting.
It was. When I saw everybody line up, I was like, oh my God, it's happening.
Yeah. So we had 16 ideas pitched, and ultimately we thought they came together into 9 teams, but there were actually 11 when it came down to demoing, which was a fun
surprise.
Yeah, fun surprise.
Yeah, 2 of those teams just like went off, and we didn't.
That's how
really
hard they worked.
Again. Yeah.
Some of the teams worked through the night. Like, people were taking this very seriously.
I mean, when I didn't even do this very often. I went around to rooms like maybe 2 or 3 times the whole time, and I would like knock on the door and they'd be like, what? We're working. What do you want? I'm like, oh
Like,
my
excuse
God.
me, Megan, you're interrupting our very important stand-up that we're having right now.
Yes, there were stand-ups, which, fills this project manager with joy. There were they had a schedule of stand-ups and everything. It was just so cool to see everyone come together, and the energy around building things was just really, really, really cool.
Yeah.
We crowned a winner.
We did.
Right? We had, I think, the coolest panel of judges.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Yes, 100%. How we got all these people to show up on a Saturday, I have no idea. No idea. But they did. They came on Saturday to listen to all the presentations, hear what people worked on, and the judges picked a winner. The winning team got a trip to Cancun.
I mean, they each got a trip to Cancun if they go together. I guess that's on them.
They don't have to go together, right?
They don't have to go together. I don't know. Joanna? I don't know. I don't know what the rules are, but they won. They won a trip. So there was a team. It was team number 1. They made a cool tool called Debias Me, which was a tool that would take a news article and then surface its trustworthiness and its bias. And then gave some, I think there was additional context around it.
Yeah.
And they were using Kabula's agents, and they were the team that had stand-ups. So project management works.
It does. The moral of the story. So our judges were David Long, from head of innovation for the Trailblazers, right? We had Laurel Burton from Instrument, CEO of Instrument. We had Shashi Jan from Portland Seed Fund. We had Fresh. He's a founder. And then your friend Andrew
Berkowitz. Yeah.
Berkowitz.
Founder Team Snap and CEO of Suggestionox.
Yeah. So those were our judges. And what they said about debias.me was that this tool, out of the box, ready to become a business. You know what I mean? Already you could imagine sort of it being consumed by other products like in my Google Doc, or you know what I mean? It just had instant viability, a little bit more maturity. I think that they had also a secret superpower on their team, which was Jeff Jensen, who is a designer and excellent product mind. So their presentation was on point. They also had bulletproof Q&A, is what I think the judges said. So they just nailed it. They definitely deserved to win. It was super impressive.
Yeah, it's so funny. Teams had 5 minutes to pitch. So they had to explain why their product mattered, how they came up with it, what was the story, but then also show it. And definitely that is, as you and I know, 5 minutes, not a lot of time to say things.
Not a lot of time. Yeah.
Not a lot of time.
A lot can go wrong in 5 minutes. Let's just say that.
5 minutes.
Many mistakes can be made in just 5 short minutes. And it doesn't matter. You're like, I got it. It's only 5 minutes. Whatever. I got this memorized.
No, then you get up there. Anything can happen. Definitely our teams that they experienced that as well. And then 5 minutes for Q&A, and it was just so cool. And again, props to Josh, because he was like, Megan and Nicole, don't worry, I've done this before. I got this. And we were like, okay.
So there's a lot of moving parts to these types of challenges and events, and there's a lot of people and things to coordinate. You have to make sure you have enough coffee. There's just a lot of questions that come up throughout the days that you're spending doing this thing. But it really is so special. I can't stress enough. The end, when it all comes together and you see what people accomplished, it really is special.
It really is. And I can see how these events are really critical to creating a vibrant startup and entrepreneurial ecosystem in a city.
So bring back Startup Weekend. is what I'm hearing.
Well, Startup Week 2025 or 2026 is
It's
already
on
on the
books.
calendars. Like it is happening. So maybe we get another hackathon, another hack at the hackathon.
Another hack at the
next year.
hackathon. I love it.
It's very, very, very cool. We should.
This is our best Monday selves.
We're keeping that in.
Can we talk about Addie Olson? First of all,
that's what I was gonna say. Yeah,
Portland's most brilliant AI
engineer,
data scientist, like just so smart, so smart.
So Thursday night, to set the scene, Thursday night was our like kind of prep for the hackathon on Friday. It was our regular AI Portland event. Addie Olson gave a talk about the fundamentals of machine learning and natural language processing and how that fits into like where we are with AI right now. I wrote down, my notes say, next steps, take stats, and remember linear regression. Those are my notes.
Wow. Okay. So I got, she had this remarkable way of distilling and like communicating and breaking down these complex. It still broke my brain a little bit, but she had this really wonderful way of saying the ABCs of AI. So A for algorithm, B for big data, and C for compute power. So those are like the building blocks of AI. And then she's obviously a cat lady. She has
so many
two
cats.
Yeah. So there were many, many adorable and hilarious cats throughout her presentation. She also, in here I said she said GIF instead of GIF. I do judge.
I do feel like Addie is our homie.
But that's we just wrong. I'm sorry, Addie. It's not.
We probably need to talk about
GIF.
this.
Yeah. I also put on here, Olivia is allergic to lemongrass, and I underlined it.
That's true. We were fortunate enough to have Spork Bites sponsor and provide food, which included Thai food, which it turned out did not have lemongrass, but was a worry for a moment.
And y'all, let's just point out the fact that I think all said and done, we had how many RSVPs for this event on Thursday?
It ended up being over 400.
Over 400 RSVPs. When Megan says, like, the city has come alive, the city has come alive.
Yeah.
We are ready. We are ready to get back at it. We are ready to come together. We are ready to learn about AI. We are.
Yeah.
There's real vitality being felt here in the city.
And vibrancy. And you and I have been sort of watching this for 18 months now.
A front row seat.
And this was not the energy in January of last year.
No.
And so it is quite remarkable. Thank you to everyone who came out on Thursday. Apologies.
It was like 130.
We got probably we got as many as we could in the room, and then we had to
people
close the
sitting.
doors.
Yes.
Yeah.
So all that to say, Megan and I did not have any of the Spork Bites delicious food from, what was it, from Thai Peacock?
So yeah.
We didn't get
not a bite left.
Lemongrass or otherwise. We did not get a wonton.
There were wontons. There were spring rolls. Allegedly, I saw them on people's plates. They did not get in our mouths. But
I am thankful that folks got delicious foods while they were learning from Addie Olson. We got Addie Olson double header because on Friday she was at Startup Cafe, which was a part of our build challenge. So we got to hear her talk about AI and automation as well, where she walked through some how to set up an automation in Gumloop.
I have it open right now.
Gumloop, which is like Zapier, but kind of the new kid on the block. And she shared this nifty use case for how she categorizes email and starts drafts in her email inbox, which was pretty nifty.
Yeah, that was really cool. Also, props to Addie, y'all. She came and gave a hour-long talk at AI Portland on Thursday night, and then at 10:30 the next morning gave a different workshop at the startup cafe for the hub.
I want to say she did an event as well. Like other events in Startup Week. She's a machine. She may be a robot. She may be a robot.
Addie, we know Addie's probably not a robot.
She
GIF thing.
I know. Suspect.
That's amazing. I want to talk about something that's happening in town that is really timely, that's happening this week. And it kind of relates to what we were saying about how we have seen this city come alive and really change a lot in the last 18 months. And that is that there is a proposal to eliminate funding for Prosper Portland, which is an organization in town that helps fund a lot of the things that help generate business and economic activity in town. And so, I personally, I don't know a lot of the history, like you and I have been doing this for 18 months. But a lot of the things that we've been involved in, or we have worked with other groups, they have been powered and funded by things that Prosper Portland supports.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have an opportunity to email your counselors, ask them to not eliminate funding for Prosper Portland. I know Rick Tarozzi is doing a lot of mobilization on this front as well.
Yeah. Definitely don't want to tell people how to feel or what to do, but I think you should do this. Just if you've been to one of our events or you like the programming that we bring you, we've had support from Prosper Portland. So we are an example of ways that they are funding and giving support to the community here in Portland. So
and it just feels like a critical moment. Like you and I were saying, it just feels like, man, there's a lot of entrepreneurial energy. The future for our region is not certain.
No,
right?
we still have years probably of struggle ahead of us. Now is not the time to just make these drastic, harsh, decisions. Are things perfect? No. Right? But this is a big pendulum swing that is not right for this moment.
Yes, it's very alarming. What else do we have to talk about today? I mean, what do you have? We're both doing this.
I thought one of the interesting things that also happened over, I think it was it Friday? Oh my gosh, it was this weekend, man. We were on a podcast, not this one. We were on a different podcast. It was weird. I had the headphones and I could hear my own voice. It was very interesting to be the ones on the other side of it. It was interesting. It was fun.
It was really fun. I think it's online. We'll find the link to it. I think I got tagged in something on LinkedIn, but it was super fun to be somebody else to be on somebody else's show.
Yeah, it was interesting.
It was a really good time. Also, we have a couple events coming up. We should talk about them. So, we have our next regular AI Portland event is June 12th. It's all about AI for social good. I am stoked to have Dr. Richard Bruno come and talk to us about what some pilots and things that are going on with AI at Multnomah County, and a representative from a nonprofit called Thorn that combats online sexual exploitation of children and uses technology and AI to do that. So that is going to be a really interesting night to hear from both of them.
It'll be interesting just to spend a night talking about the ways in which AI is helping our society and our world and our people. That'll just be a fun flex in a positive direction.
Yeah, for sure. And then we have the day before. We have a special event. Have we talked about this? I feel like we teased it. Did we talk about it last episode?
We
Don't
teased
call it
it.
a conference. We did.
We
Oh, wow.
teased it last time, but a lot has sort of gelled and come together since our last episode. So I think it's worthy of a deeper dive.
Yeah. So June 11th, Portland, Oregon, AI Launchpad Northwest, your half day, not a conference conference. Half day
So
extended event.
so this extended event is going to have 3 components to it. The first one will be like getting everybody sort of on the same page as far as how to think about AI, what it's good at, what it's not good at, just a very good foundational AI literacy session. Then we're going to have a session with Jordan Plonner, who's formerly of Intel. He's going to do a build up on top of that as far as AI for your organization. So how do you take it and practically apply it to like your team and the work that you're doing? And then we're going to have a session with Zapier on automation. And I think, one of the things that people are really excited about and has been a bigger deal than I thought, like people just really love the fact that Megan and I have invited our friends, our trusted experts to join us in this extended session to answer people's questions in smaller groups. So like maybe you don't want to raise your hand, but you have this question and you want to discuss it with someone who knows a lot about the space. So we have a handful of those trusted experts, people that Megan and I go to ask our questions. They're going to come as well. And whoever comes to this event will have access to them to ask their questions.
Yeah, so during lunch, they will be around, and we'll have some facilitated small group Q&A, because I think what we find from talking to people is they need foundations, they need to understand how to think about AI, they need to understand like what it can and cannot do and how to use it for their organization. But a lot of times people have like a very specific question, right? And when we do bigger group things, it can be hard to get to them. So we, like Nicole said, we're bringing trusted friends, people who we know really understand what's happening, not just, I don't know, peddling hype and snake oil, you might say. We're bringing folks in that can really try to answer those questions.
Like for me, for example, maybe I'm like, I'm a product designer. Are the AI wireframing design tools, are they there yet? Should my team be using them? I might go to someone like Mike Crichton, who works in the space and innovation, and be like, hey, Mike, what are you thinking? Because I don't know, so he'll be there.
Yeah,
We also
exactly.
have Suzanne Tong, who is a founder and CEO, and she's been in the marketing space. We have Lindsay Washburn. She's with
policy and governance.
Yeah, policy and government. This is hard. We also have our home girl, GIF expert, Addie Olson.
I feel sad for people who are only listening to this because they don't see us like staring at each other going,
what are we saying right now?
This is what we look like.
Do we never record these on Mondays? Have we ever?
Well, not normally. Normally we do it on like a Friday morning.
Usually it's a Friday morning. I will say I am not my best self on Mondays. Especially after a jam-packed weekend like we had.
I was going to say, this is what it looks like when we only have one day off. This is what you get. Yes,
did I forget anyone?
I mean, we have Addie.
I can't believe I blinked on Addie. Like,
Jordan
she's amazing.
As well. And of course, you and I will be around. And we've got some cool sponsors on board. So Willamette University, Zapier, Prosper Portland, and Upstart Collective have all come on board. And here's the thing, like maybe you are a AAI Portland member, or you're someone who listens to this podcast all the time. Bless you.
Whoever you are.
this might not be the event for you. Like, you might already have this stuff. You're already exploring. You're already trying to figure out how to leverage this technology where you work. But it might be for someone you know. Maybe it's for your spouse or your neighbor or a coworker. We tried to keep this event incredibly affordable. So it is $45. And that includes lunch. So do the math on the economics of that. Right?
Yeah, I also think this is an excellent event to go to with your coworkers. You know what I mean? Like maybe but you're pretty sure like folks on your team or tertiary folks that you work with don't have an understanding of AI. This is a great thing to bring people to, and everybody gets the same foundation.
Yeah, and it can kind of give you exactly that launchpad, which is exactly why we named it that, right? We wanted to give you the information that you can then take back to work and try some things out and kind of launch off from there. We are really excited about it. It is also, I'm not gonna lie, it's like not a small endeavor to make this all come together. So we're really excited.
There's a lot that goes into a conference.
There is like food, coffee, etc. There will be coffee. There will be sandwiches.
Mm-hmm.
It will be fine. And fun and amazing and super informative. I mean, I feel so great about the content and the quality of the information that we'll be delivering. So I'm really, really excited and really want to get as many people in town as we can, because we are interested in helping our fellow folks like get up to speed and understand what can really be done with this tech. So don't miss it. June 11th. Okay. Thank you again for listening to this episode of Supercharged by AI. Subscribe to get all the latest episodes and check us out at aipdx.info for more information.